Welcome to Get Smart Office Edition.
The show where we help you laugh about and get better at office life.
I'm Shannon.
And I'm Laura.
And it's Friday.
Woo! On Fridays, we share the real stories that inspired our skits and tips that we share on Mondays and Wednesdays. Plus, you get to hear the bloopers that our editor thinks are funny, and hopefully you will too.
Now, let's get smart.
And silly. Okay, so this week, you did the gym shoes skit. Tell me about that.
Okay, this came out of a actual thing that happened, and it was way worse than what was in the skit. So,
oh no.
We had, at a company I've worked at, we had a carpeted office, and it's the normal kind of office carpeting. So it's not, fluffy shag carpeting from the 1970s or anything. It's just that like really short carpeting.
Yeah.
This guy really liked to work out, and our office was across the street from a gym. And so he would bring in his gym bag and his gym shoes. And I don't know if he just sweat profusely to the point that his entire gym shoes were just every day soaked in his sweat. But even when he would leave the office and take all his gym stuff with him, if you walked anywhere past his desk, and these are not cubicles, mind you, this is like an open air, like desks everywhere kind of place. You walk past anywhere near his desk and it just reeked. It was terrible. So eventually he left the company and they tried everything to get the smell out. They had multiple professional carpet cleaners come in and clean the carpet, and the smell was still there.
Wait, I have a question.
Yes.
Was he rubbing his socks into the carpet?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
How did he? Oh, okay.
People near him had like taken to getting there before him and spraying Febreze underneath his desk before he got there. Like people were showing up early to do this because it was so bad. Afterward, even after the carpet shampooings, they still couldn't get the smell out. The company literally had to cut the carpet out and replace it.
Oh my gosh.
That's how bad it was. It was absolutely horrific. So I just don't understand why anybody thinks it's a good idea to bring your gym bag to your desk in your office. Maybe if you're going to do that, you need to make sure everything's in your gym bag, and your gym bag is like basically a body bag where no smells can get out. That might work.
I was going to say, we have a gym at our building, and a lot of my coworkers go work out at lunch, and they bring their whole bag and everything stays in the bag. And I have never had this level of problem. I've never heard of this level of problem.
Maybe there's better gym bags than other bags. Like maybe ones that like don't let the smell.
Maybe that guy was just really
maybe he was just gross.
Problem. Well, maybe it wasn't his fault, but still. Oh wait, did you want me to read what Dr. Google said?
Oh yes, tell me what Dr. Google says about the decrease in your ability to smell things.
So it can be called nose blindness or olfactory fatigue, and this is the first hit I got. If you smell an odor for long enough, you eventually stop noticing it. This is because prolonged exposure to a strong smell is believed to saturate the olfactory epithelium with odor molecules to the point where the information is no longer delivered to your brain.
So basically, your brain just goes, yeah, I don't need that information anymore. Yeah, we're done now.
Yeah, it says it's called adaptation. So it's just like, we don't need this anymore. Goodbye.
Well, it's the same reason, like if a skunk like gets hit by a car and you're in that area for like a while, all of a sudden you just don't smell it anymore. Like at first you're like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. Ah! And then after about 20 minutes, you're just like, I don't smell it anymore. Yeah, that's fine. I don't think people realize that that's what happens. And when there are two things I see. Number one is you get used to your own smells and stuff, right?
Sure.
So when you first walk into a place and it's got a different smell, you immediately notice the smell. But if you're there for any length of time, you no longer notice the smell. The other thing is some people really do have a decreased ability to smell. And I don't think that it's not like you go get your sniffer tested, right? Like your eyes, you go get tested. So like people will be like, oh, okay, well, you don't see 20/20, you see like 2100 or whatever. Like that's like a normal
20/20.
Yeah, you don't smell 20/20. Like you smell like 2400 and you should probably not trust your sense of smell, right? Because it's not like if you had to go to the DMV and prove your sense of smell in order to drive, all of a sudden all these people would know if they had a decreased ability to smell.
Interesting, yeah.
Right? So I think that people who are not sure should just assume that they have a terrible sense of smell. And then they should like ask people who are always complaining about smells. Right?
Yeah.
Because that I just think is just like it's not a thing we test for. Like your hearing gets tested when you're a kid, your eyes get tested. Who tests your sense of smell? Also, who tests your taste buds? Like
I was going to ask that.
Yeah. Like your sense of touch, we all kind of get, like that just happens naturally. Your sense of taste, like I think there's a reason some people really don't like spicy food. Like they probably have different taste buds than other people.
Oh, yeah, I think so. And there's also super tasters.
Yeah.
Right. The people
like
who can,
the things.
Yeah. The people who can drink wine and tell you like where it was grown and what kind of materials it touched in its entire life.
Yeah, what kind of clay ground it was grown in, and it felt the sun 75 days of its 200-year cycle, whatever.
Wow.
Like
Wow.
But your sense of smell, who tests that?
I don't know. I do know that some people say, and I'm one of them, that have a sensitive nose and can smell a lot of things.
Things you don't necessarily want to smell.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
also then you become a parent and then it's like, whatever.
Well, then you're smelling lots of things you don't want to smell.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because you have no choice anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't know that I definitely am on the more sensitive end. I'm definitely not as sensitive as other people, but I have a violent reaction to bad smells. And I just
so fun.
Immediately notice them. I will say though, I don't tend to have, like, some people really feel like nauseated if they get bad smells. I don't have that problem. I just immediately notice them, and I
just don't like it.
I don't have a poker face, so if I do notice them, I make that like jerking head reaction.
True, folks.
Oh, that's not good.
Her face is loud.
Look who's talking. Laura's
takes one
face
to
is
know one.
also loud. Yes. But
I'm not denying anything.
That's true. That's true. So far. We'll see if I can get you to deny something on the podcast. But yeah, so I think people who are not sure about their sense of smell or have been told by other people that they don't have a good sense of smell should just take that to heart and be like, maybe I should just be more careful about how I smell and how the things around me smell, just in case. That's my advice.
Does anyone like being told like, hey, dude, bro, you have body odor?
Nobody likes that. But wouldn't you also rather like somebody you trust tell you than you go through life and no one tells you?
I want a friend to tell me for sure.
Yeah. Just like I want you to tell me if I've got something stuck in my teeth.
Yes.
Or, I've got, toilet paper stuck to my shoe, or,
your
whatever.
Flies down.
My flies down. Like what, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I think that it's good for somebody who cares about you to tell you that. And sometimes that means like a coworker in the workplace, right?
Yeah.
Because they're the person who's seeing you right now and they're going, oh, honey, can I just pull you aside for a second? Like, it's never fun.
No.
It's never fun to be on the receiving end of that. But I always have profusely
the giving
those
end,
people.
honestly.
No, it's so awkward. It's super awkward, right? But I think it's a much kinder thing to do than to not tell someone and just have everybody talking about them like behind their back, because they have, a body odor issue, or, they've got that spinach stuck in their teeth that nobody's telling them about, or they're walking around with their fly down and nobody's telling them.
Yeah.
So it's kinder to say something gently.
Yeah.
Than to let them do that.
I agree.
So, and don't make your companies replace your carpet.
That is so bad. That is
so terrible. It's so. I have never had to replace something in my own home because of a smell that I could not get rid of. Right? Like, maybe the worst thing I've ever had in my own home is like, oh, I had tuna fish in a plastic container, right? And I know you hate fish, I know, but like you wash that out so many times, you're just like, wow, this still smells like tuna fish. Like that's probably the worst thing I've ever had. Yeah, and that's it. So
It's gone. But I'm also, sorry, we're still talking about this. I can't get over the fact that industrial grade carpet cleaner
did not take it out.
Oh,
I don't know if it's because like, so, there's carpet and then below that there's the pad, right? So like maybe like the sweat from his gym shoes like soaked down into the pad, and that's really what they had to replace. Like maybe they were able to clean the carpet, but the pad was just like toast. I don't know if it's made out of different
material. You're in a
material.
fancy building who actually has padding under the carpet. I don't think.
We may not. I have no idea. I wasn't there when they ripped up the carpet, so I have no idea. So if any of our listeners out there know anything about carpet cleaning and why this would be the case, please send us a comment because I am extremely curious.
Yeah, send us your smelly stories. I don't know if I want them.
Send us your smelly stories if they're not crazy gross.
Yeah,
how about that?
If they're funny.
Yeah, if they're funny, if they're in the office, yeah, absolutely send them in because
we'll talk about microwave
smells,
food smells some other time.
Yes, different episode.
Whole other thing.
Yeah, that's a different thing that people should have very much more control over.
Yes.
So, although I would argue that BO is a thing that you can have. Yeah, you can control that. So. Some people do need medication for that, and that's okay.
Okay.
But there's definitely showers every day is a really good idea. Deodorant's a great idea. Clean clothes, also a good idea. A lot of things could be solved with those 3 things.
Okay. All right. I got to cut us off. But thank you so much for sharing that story with us and me. I'm going to be thinking about that for weeks. Oh,
I'm sorry.
It's fine. Okay, so we talked about free stuff at the office.
Yep.
Provided by the company.
Yes.
All right. Tell me your story.
So I work for a company that really likes to give free stuff to employees, and I really appreciate that. And, it's a lot of just normal stuff like, coffee and tea, those kinds of things. And they bring in, sometimes we do like free lunches. Sometimes they do, during the summer we have like free sweet teas and things in the afternoon. But when you get an email from HR to the entire company, because some ladies decided to take all the free feminine hygiene products out of the bathroom and literally stuff their purses with them and take them home, I just looked at that email and went, what? Why would anyone do this? I just don't get it.
Oh.
And to make matters worse, they actually sent the email to the entire company. It wasn't like, oh, we have an email list for all female, employees.
Oh,
and
good.
we're just
the guys got to know about it too.
They got to know about it too. I did not personally see this happening, but I do have a coworker who did see someone doing this. So it's one of those things where one person does a thing and then either ruins it for everyone or gets called out very publicly without their being named. So everybody gets the email. Right?
So embarrassing both ways.
Exactly. Because you're just like, number one, I'm embarrassed because all the guys are like reading the email going, wow, why would women do that? That's weird.
Because feminine products can be expensive.
Yeah, that's true. But that's no reason to take them from your company.
No.
Right? Like there are other options out there than taking them all. But I don't understand why people in general, not just with this situation, but just in general, like take advantage of what's offered. And because it always results in them ruining it for everyone else. It's the same reason why you have the laws out there that we have, like with all the regulations and stuff, is because somebody was abusing something and then they had to make a regulation because the abuse they did either burn down a house or cause a traffic collision or whatever. Like all the things that we have is because somebody abuses their privileges.
Right.
I just don't understand why people do that, especially in the office, because it just ruins it for everybody.
Yeah.
Have you seen this happen at your workplace?
So not so much with the feminine products, because we have those little dispensers in the bathroom for 25 cents. Probably for the reason.
This reason.
For that reason of people will take stuff if it's not nailed down. Mostly I work for the state, so our company, we don't get a lot of free stuff. Mostly it's other employees like bringing candy and putting it in a public space out of the goodness of their hearts. You wouldn't want to see somebody walking by taking a whole handful and stuffing it in their purse. That's just, it's not in the spirit of...
It's rude.
It's rude. It's rude to everyone.
Yes. Rude, selfish.
It's rude to the person who brought the candy, and it's rude to anybody else who might have wanted some.
Yeah. So now, like, if you're having, like, you know, a diabetic sugar crash and you need to eat 10 pieces of candy, right?
Sure.
Then go for it. Right. Right. But otherwise, why are you stuffing that in your purse?
Don't take it home.
Don't take it home. It's just the free stuff at the office is meant for the office. Right. And the same thing, like if somebody brings in cupcakes, you got, you know, 3 kids at home, your children are not entitled to those cupcakes. Like you can have a cupcake because somebody brought them in. And if at the end of the day, somebody's like, hey, somebody needs to take these home because they're going to go bad.
Right.
Sure. Offer to take them home. Whatever. You're the last one in the office that day. They're going to go bad. Sure. Take them home.
Or it's Friday.
Like, maybe don't leave them there. Like, you know, whatever. That's cool. But don't be that person who's like, I'm going to take 6 of these now so I can eat them for the next 2 days. And I'm just going to eat these for dinner tonight. This is what I'm going to eat for the next 2 days at home.
Cupcakes for dinner. Score. Dinner of champions.
Right? I mean, hey, you know, when you're an adult, you can do what you want. But you're also an adult, so you can go to the grocery store and get your own cupcakes. I have opinions about this, clearly.
No.
I know. Shocker. So anyway, just don't be that person. That's my advice. Again, ending it with don't be that person. Yes. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thanks, Shannon. Keep your stinky. Keep your sneaky snakes out of this. Keep your stinky snakes. Your stinky snakes. Please don't spit. Thanks for listening. Subscribe to catch new episodes of Tips and Skits every Monday and Wednesday, and join us for our Real Story segment and our blooper reel on Fridays. Want to share your hilarious office stories with us? We might turn them into an episode. Send us your thoughts and feedback at gsoe@diecastmediagroup.com and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Special thanks to Rebecca, who created animations for our skits, which you can watch on our YouTube channel. Also, thanks to Wendy, our audio editor, Lelia, our social media manager, and Austin, our technical engineer. If you would like to support the show, review and share with your friends, or consider supporting us on Patreon, links are in the show notes. Get Smart Office Edition is a DieCast Media Group production.